All right, in just a moment here, we're going to keep this ball rolling with some portable ops by Pythonicus. But real quick, I want to remind you guys of some bid wars that are going on. We have met all of our open incentives, except for DLC camo. But, you know, it happens. And just as soon as SRDC decides to show me, we have open right now Silent Hill Blood Color, black at $1, violet at $10, and you have your choice of black, green, red, or violet. We also have the Metal Gear Solid / Twin Snakes ending that is open. We have one last MGS 1 run that is the any percent on PC by Metal Blend Solid, and right now it's looking like he has to save Meryl. So if you guys want Best Bro Otacon, you're going to have to get your donations in. But if you want to stress Glenn out because he's going to have minimal life for that, you might want to shore up Meryl. Who knows? And I believe I am getting the high sign that these guys are ready to mosey on in here. So I'm going to kick it over to Pythonicus. Do a run going.
All right. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. It's me.
And me.
It's me, the absolute loser, and it's Mitty, the grand champion.
You can't shake us off.
But we're gonna be bringing you some hot portable ops action. The unsung hero of why is that a clear save? Anyway, the unsung hero of portable Metal Gear. One of. You saw Acid 2 last night with Copper Tank, and he did a hell of a job with the routing and the run for that. So of course, all shout outs go to him. But this is where MGS Peace Walker and where MGS 5 kind of pulled inspiration from for the whole base mechanics. So, gotta get myself a save profile started here. Note that we're not actually going to save any point during the run. We just need to make the profile. So, anyway, time will start when I select normal. So we're going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So to start us off, we're gonna be in a prison, and we got to bust ourselves out of here. So right off the bat, there is a strat that I accidentally found during a 12-hour challenge run I did of this game. I didn't get it there, but if you rub just right up against the corner of the door frame there, you can actually you basically only have to try the door once, is what I'm trying to say, but struggling.
Yeah, normally you're supposed to try it twice, as you saw there, but if you move at a specific angle, when you press triangle to activate it, Snake will sidle against the wall and then go off and then actually shake it, and then it'll play the cutscene.
Yep. So, just gotta crawl through
just a little bit of time.
Yeah. It's very minor, but it was an interesting thing that I found it on like my first actual attempt. But yeah, just crawl through that vent, grab the Mark 22, and we're off. English is hard. You're
supposed
absolutely
to be a tutorial here, but we're just gonna ignore Campbell. We're just gonna leave him.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We already know how to play.
We don't give much of a care of what he says. So, but yeah, so Portable Ops came out in about 2007 or 2006, as it says on the layout there. And I don't think a lot of people got the chance to play it. Since it was on the PSP, and the PSP was a fairly niche system. But it is a fantastic game, and it is available on the PSN. You can play it if you have a PS TV or a PS Vita, which that's another niche system. But you know, it's available, and I would very much suggest playing this one as well. But I kind of spoke past it, but you saw our major our major tech of the run, we'll call it, and that is the bump roll. Go ahead.
So this game basically runs on MGS3 Lite engine, is kind of how we call it. So a lot of quirks from MGS3 also carry over to Portable Ops. and that is including the ginormous hitbox of Snake's roll. When he gets, first of all, when you bump into an enemy, they don't spot you right away. It takes a second. So like if they're running and they see you, it takes a second. They spot you, you bump them, it takes even longer, and then you can go even farther away and roll, and then you can get by them without even having to shoot them or do anything like that.
Yeah,
And we use it all the time.
Yeah, later on it's going to be a little bit more tricky than just going straight at an enemy and then bumping and rolling. There are a couple of variables in the mix, like we want to send enemies flying in specific directions in certain cases, so we do have to kind of pay attention to that. But for the most part, it's a pretty easy mechanic to learn and get into and start using. So that first mission, we busted out of prison, we got ourselves a truck, and we got our radio support in Roy Campbell. So I think I went too far. Anyway, the thing about it is, this was a portable game, of course, so it is very mission structured, and all the missions are fairly short. And in this mission, we are going to be... Okay, there we go. We're going to be looking for some documents to kind of piece together what's happening here, because the Fox unit... Wow, that's an odd alert to
Fox
take.
unit that just drove off.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, the control scheme. That is... That's probably the biggest point of contention you'll find with this game. So, being on a PSP, it had an analog nub, it had a D-pad, and it had face buttons. Now, it had also ported over the 3D camera from Snake Eater, or rather Subsistence. To control the camera, you have a couple of options. You can use the face buttons, or you can use the stick and move with the D-pad, or you can do what I do and use the claw grip to move with the analog stick and aim camera with the D-pad. And it took some getting used to doing this on a DualShock 3, but you know.
I do the same thing. I also claw grip it.
So here we're gonna try and avoid alert. Hey, we got our boy Johnny. So this Jonathan is not actually related to any of the Johnnies otherwise, but you know, for short we call him Johnny, and he's gonna be our first recruit.
In fact, any of these guys, the first recruit will always be Johnny. It doesn't matter which of these soldiers you grab, it's always going to be Johnny.
Yep. And the way we kind of grabbed him around that corner, that is very tricky timing, and it will fail a lot. Like if you're going for a Tsuchinoko rank run. Thankfully, I somehow screwed up actually bump rolling the officer in the last mission, so we're not even on that.
Yeah, I have no idea how he caught you. You did everything normally. I don't know what happened, but...
It's fine, it happens.
Whatever.
So yeah, we have recruited our first soldier, and we're only going to recruit 2 normally through the game. We'll get 3 total recruits, but we're only going to deal with actually grabbing 2 of them. Because, as you saw, we have to drag them all the way back to the truck. And that's rather slow. We'd rather not do that. So, in a way, we're kind of playing this like Peace Walker in that we're doing this with as minimal as we can get away with. But opposite to Peace Walker, we're recruiting few to that end.
Yeah, if you want to talk about a run that gets the absolute bare minimum, this is it. We only get the stuff you need to beat the game, and nothing else.
Thankfully, the enemies just kind of leave it all lying around, you know? Pretty handy.
Yeah, we don't have to make it. We just go grab it. Well, we make one thing.
Yeah, we make one thing.
One thing is made.
You know? You can't get away completely scot-free. What is this, a charity case? Oh, wait. But yeah, we're actually taking control of Johnny by putting him in the first slot of our sneaking team. And when you're using enemy soldiers in your sneaking unit, they have special properties, such that not only do they have their own specific careers that allow them to do certain actions better, But depending on what kind of soldiers you have on the map you're on, as you can see the chameleon icon in the top left there, that means I am disguised so long as I'm not doing anything suspicious like rolling, climbing up boxes, or, even something so mundane as climbing a ladder. Soldiers on this base, they don't do that. They don't.
No, you don't climb ladders here. That was taught in boot camp. No ladders. They're here,
No
but you
ladders.
can't climb them. So what he did just there is a 180 bump grab. There's a technique I came up with where you bump into the soldier, and then rather than like trying to run around them and grab them, you just bump, turn, grab, and then slam them down.
And it is fairly tricky to actually do that because you have to allow yourself some space to actually grab them. Otherwise, you're just going to bump right back into them.
Yeah.
And
You need to go a fair bit away from them before you turn around, and also you kind of need to throw that ammo away.
yeah, I'll do that in the briefing menu.
Oh, you do it in the menu? Okay.
Yeah.
I usually do it in the mission, but I guess that makes more sense.
But yeah, so the 180 bump grab, it's fairly lenient because you'll come to find in this game that Snake has a telepathic reach of godlike proportions, and he can grab thin air, and all of a sudden a soldier just appears in his arms. It's pretty great.
Yeah, he has mastered telekinesis. Only for grabbing people, though. It doesn't work on anything else.
Yeah, no. So get rid of that ammo. We're gonna go to the research lab next. We're gonna stick with Johnny, because his disguise is actually pretty nice to use and play with a little bit. But after this mission, we're gonna have to actually take him out of the sneaking unit, because we need him to spy on places for us. The way story triggers work in this game is usually that if there's something you need to find out, you have to actually send spies to find it out for you. And these spies can be random. You can mitigate the randomness by putting more spies in a place, but I mean, we don't have that kind of time. So usually we're gonna make do with less.
Can be random. They are random.
Well, yes.
They are very random.
They are very random.
You can either get that spy report right away, or it will take several cycles of waiting day and night.
Yeah. So on the briefing menu, we haven't actually taken a look at it yet because it hasn't been necessary. But there is an option to wait, and that advances the in-game clock 12 hours from day to night or night to day. And that passes time, much like actually completing a mission or going into a mission would do. And that is the fastest way to pass the time to get a spy report. We really hope to get the spy reports within 1 or 2 waits. 3 waits is also acceptable, but if it goes anywhere past that, we only have the 3 to use, so then we'd have to enter a mission and exit.
And that's where the time loss comes in. I mean, like, there's time loss in waiting extra times, but it's not as bad as having to load into a mission.
Yeah.
So we really don't want to load into any missions while we're waiting for spy reports.
But I don't know what determines the RNG seed for this game. I've had some thoughts, but I don't think any of them are actually the case. Like, I thought that maybe the time you had started your save file had something to do with it, but I don't. That's probably not it. So we got our third recruit fairly quick, actually, and whoops, that is a total miss menu. Like, from top to bottom there. So doing the menus quickly in this game is a real treat to do, but they are difficult. This menu likes to eat inputs a lot. This game, you might be able to tell, runs at a fairly sluggish FPS. And that can cause some input issues sometimes. But it's usually not too bad. But yeah, that first spy report we just got told us to come to the supply depot. That is a guaranteed one. No matter what you do, as long as you pass 12 hours in game, you will have that spy report. So we're just gonna come across this guy and bounce him out towards that little door there. Takes him out of our way and allows us to slip by unseen.
And again, you'll see just how far away he was when he did the roll, and the guard still got knocked over.
Oh yeah.
It's even the hitbox is even that big in MGS3 too. Like it's ginormous.
It's really magnificent, honestly. All right, so we got a map. We got to go to a rail bridge now, and the rail bridge we're going to be visiting it a few times, and each time it's a really small map, so it's a very quick mission to get through all 3 times. This first time, all we got to do is kind of saunter over to a mission square, and we're done.
Do you have a moment for a quick donation?
Absolutely.
I have $10 from Apache, who says you can solve all your problems by bumping into them and rolling away.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I agree. Yes, that is the truth.
And he put that towards Otacon. So if you guys want to get into that bid war, now's the time.
Oh yeah. No. Thanks Apache for that. Very, very generous. And yeah, no. All these bid wars, limited time offers, guys. Gotta get into it. So now we're up to the point where we have to start using our spies to find places to divert the enemy attention away from that rail bridge. And we got real good luck here. We have our first one already. We're going to the supply depot. Now, we have to blow up some targets. And normally the game doesn't hint at this at all until this point. So you wouldn't maybe know to grab the TNT. But, since this is a speed run, when we grab Johnny, you may have noticed I kind of detoured a little bit to grab some TNT off in the corner. And so we have that already prepared. We can just start blowing stuff up, dude. I'm going to hug this left wall here to avoid that. But I kind of went a little too far. That was my bad. But the objective is to hug that wall and then kind of cut in toward the truck a little gentler than I did to avoid that alert. But it's no big deal. Once you blow up the truck, you're basically just invincible. Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. We got another spy report for the patrol base, which means I can actually move Johnny in with Koala there. And that'll hopefully help with the weight we need for it. Because the way the spies work is the more you have in a location, the more likely they are to actually give you something. Of course, it also depends on their stats. Some people are better at spying than others.
Yeah.
So for this mission, we're going to actually just drop down into this pit instead of rolling. Because we do need to waste some time for a cycle to be more favorable. Now I'll set up my TNT on my quick equip and then take it off because this guy needs to get right on out of our way right now. And if we're fast enough, we can plant this down and boom! Hey, look, he's alive.
And so are we.
Look at that. How about that? But yeah, when guards are standing up, they have a substantial amount of iframes, and we can use that to our advantage in this case.
Also, Snake is invincible if an explosion ends the mission. You can stand right next to it and explode it, because it triggers the end of the mission right when you detonate it.
Yep.
So Snake won't take any damage.
Alright, so this one took a bit of coercing, but it is perfectly fine. We got it in the first 2. And this time, so we skipped the cutscene in the research lab the first time around, explaining that there's some sort of perfect soldier guy running around, and every so often he has to go back into these incubation tanks to kind of wipe his memory. We're going to blow one of those up and hope it doesn't have any negative repercussions. I mean, at the very least, it's going to get one of those guards away from the bridge we need to cross. Another quick little bump roll there. And boom.
Kaboom.
And that is all of the diversionary ops. There's one more you can do, but the speedrun, you only need to complete 3 out of the 4 that are available. So, we only do 3. And in fact, it's beneficial for us to only do 3 because there's 1 truck left. And as you're going to see, there's a guard that patrols on the bridge itself. that we take care of, and we kind of like that truck being where it is anyway. So this is going to start off pretty similar to the last trip to the rail bridge.
This time with a cool.
Yeah, just pop around the corner. Snake just knows he's there. If you stick it far enough to the left, the guard won't hear you. He's too concerned with having been shot in the shield. You can just mosey on past. I missed the missed the mission square, but that's fine. Get a more cinematic view. Yeah.
He made a very legitimate concern. You know, your shield gets shot, you run behind cover.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You want to find out where this guy is.
Oh, good. I've already got my spots opened up for this. So we need 2 inventory slots open for going into the harbor. You only have a maximum of 4 on the field. Some soldiers you recruit have the ability to send items back to base while they're in the field. Snake is not one of those guys. So he has 4, and if he has more than 4, he's got to drop something and go. So we really want to make sure we got 2 item slots open, because we're going to grab this up here, and we're not going to see that again for a while, but don't worry about it. We know it's there. We know it's there for our time of need. Now I'm going to take my time, shoot that guy in the head. Now I want to take my time there, because otherwise this guy back here will see him fall and cause a stink. And we don't need that. But this next item I'm going to grab is of utmost importance. So important, in fact, that we're just completely skipping the end of the mission for a second here to go grab it.
It is the ultimate weapon in Peace Walker and in MGS3, and it's the ultimate weapon here. We're making a grand detour for the cardboard box. Everyone's favorite.
Throughout the run, that box will save us more time than it would have taken than it would have been to just not grab it at all. Like, I could have dropped down to the ground on the other side of the ship, but we need that cardboard box. It is that important.
So it has the exact same properties as the cardboard box in MGS3. You go faster up inclines and stairs, and you can use it to, you know, get some headshots on people and bump into them and roll through and continue on your way.
Yeah, and we have a nifty little strat coming up in a few missions time. In fact, I think it's actually next mission that displays exactly why the cardboard box is so important. But now we have a good long codec call from Ghost. So Roy, any updates?
I'm going to take a quick look here. We are still sat at 953. I do want to remind you guys that the goals have been met, but there are bid wars open. $230 on Save Otacon, $249 on Save Merrill is just a small $20 to put Otacon over. We'd also like to point out that the Silent Hill Blood Color incentive is still open. You can choose between black, green, red, and violet. Violet is in the lead at $10. Black bringing up the rear with 1. So get those donations in, folks.
Absolutely. And all that menuing I just did, don't worry about it. I was just getting another spy report to come here to this security base. And this is where the box really shines. So I caught something out of the corner of my eye during a run, and Marlon said, hey, you know, that might actually be pretty cool. And turns out, heck yeah, it's pretty freaking cool. So we're going to box through the first guy. We're going to box through the second guy. We're going to unbox up this ramp because we need a cycle to match up with what we need here. We're going to go halfway to the door here, box up again, go through the door, confusing 4 total guards on the map, and we're away scot-free with the item we need.
This is a very stylish strat and way easier than what we did before.
Yeah, I love that strat. It is peak Metal Gear, honestly. So we need 1 item slot open for this next mission, because we're going to pick up another item. A very important item. You saw it in MGS3. used to pretty great effect against the boss herself. So really, it's just the box is the ultimate item, and this weapon we're going to pick up is the ultimate weapon, honestly. So, starting off this mission, we're going to hug the right wall here for the majority of this climb downward to set up a cycle so where I'm not spotted upon entering the next room. Because here, yeah, cool, we're good. Here, we have gotten locked into a cutscene, and there's a guard who roams around. And if we're too early to this point, that guard will spot us and start moving towards us in the cutscene. And oopsies. And that's no good. But anyway, I failed to roll through a laser gate there, so I got an instant alert. So instead of worrying about that, I'm just going to run pell-mell through this and hope I don't take too much damage, because this is a boss stage.
Python has to face his inner demons in this stage. His inner frozen demons.
Oh no. My own frozen ring of hell. So yeah, if I was still being a stealthy boy, I could have rolled into that door to avoid another alert. But again, I'm not particularly concerned about that. I'm just trying to take as little damage as possible at this point. So equip the TNT, because this is the this is the last mission we actually needed TNT for. Before, it would have been the second to last, but, you know, I had to come in and shake things up. So set that down. Yeah. So set that down, and we're into boss fight. Now, there's been items I haven't been picking up around. They're healing items. They're medical kits. I have not had the interest in grabbing any of them. So we're going to hope that Python here cooperates.
That's a nice cool breeze.
So far, so good.
Just like
Stop shooting me. Cool. So Python takes 2 headshots and 2 body shots. I just tend to aim for the head because, you know, it's stylish, I guess. But what you want him to do is either try to smack you in the head with his rifle, or try to shoot you directly after you've shot him. Also, my spies are in the right place anyway. If he shoots you, or shoots at you directly after you hit him, you can look down and avoid all of the damage. No idea why, but, you know, there it is. And, of course, if he tries to smack you, you can just kind of run in a circle and avoid it. But yeah, Python, he can be a tricky boy, but, you know, we're fine. Everything's fine. So we needed that spy report to go to the airport. And something I haven't been mentioning is that there is a weird glitch that skips the briefing text for 4 specific missions in the game, or for the speedrun at least. The 3 diversionary operations and this one, where if you're just tapping triangle to get through the text, it just doesn't appear at all.
Yeah, we're not really sure why that happens, but I mean, it works out because it saves us time.
Yeah. It's a not insignificant amount of time. It's about 10 seconds overall. Oh, beautiful. I didn't even bump him. Well, this got interesting. So, you really don't want an alert in the airport. Because there's a VIP here that we need to grab and interrogate. And, under alert, if I can get off this wall. Under alert, he's gonna be running all over the place. If I'm lucky, he's gonna run straight at me. That works. Come back. Come on, get back here. Get back here. Good. Good enough.
And right there, you could see Snake's telekinesis in action.
Yeah.
Took that man and dragged him over to him to grab him. Truly a powerful man.
It's so powerful. How can any one man contain that much power? So, all right, I took the Mosin Nagantov. We don't need it for this next mission. In fact, we need a different weapon for the boss at the end of this mission. And I waited 3 times. Waiting will, in accordance with your medical unit stats, will both heal you and refresh your stamina gauge. With nobody in that, you get about a third of your health bar back for waiting 3 times. So I just wanted to make sure I have health heading in here because the boss is a pain. But you'll notice I didn't box or roll up that ramp. That's because the cycle just ends up nicer here. I mean, anytime you see me just rolling up, or like, anytime you see me doing something unoptimal, I can guarantee you it's because there's an optimal reason for it. Get up the ladder. Ladder! Okay. Ladders are impossible in this game.
Because the button to climb the ladder is also the button to sidle against the wall.
Yep.
So it can cause some shenanigans.
So, alright, here we go, the boss fight. This is Null. You guys might know him better by a name, Frank Yeager? Anyway, he's very allergic to rockets, so we're going to exploit that weakness. And just shoot him with a bunch of rockets, really. Yeah, we literally just picked up this RPG off the roof there, and immediately it's coming into use. So this boss fight takes 7 rockets, and if your aim is good, you can continually just blast him back like this. Otherwise, oh man, you're gonna hate this guy. And that is a perfect Null fight. No, Jay.
Frank.
No. We don't have too many whiny anime in this game. So, Snake got captured at the end of that, despite defeating Null handily with rockets. So we gotta go find him, and the first place we're gonna look is the last place he was. I mean, it's only natural, really.
It makes sense.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna take Johnny on a walk, and this time we will actually roll up these ramps here, being very careful to not overshoot because there's a guy who right there. We'd rather just take him out this way. Now, before we used to take the Mark 22 off of Snake. However, I have kind of rerouted it a little bit so that we don't even do that. Thanks to a discovery Mini made on accident.
Yay! I keep doing it.
It's your thing. Also, I let go of the L1 button, and I was really hoping I didn't just screw that up, and thankfully I didn't. But yeah, so our next step in this quest to find Snake is to actually go back to the rail bridge, and the game expects you to have a spy report to do so. It turns out you really don't need to. You can just kind of pop in and say hi and grab the item and go.
Yeah, you don't need a spy report or anything. It's just there.
Yeah. And it turns out grabbing the spy report actually helps us out as well in multiple ways. Not only do we not need to deal with our spies being spies, we also have the ability to have this guy inside. And this guy can see straight through us, so we really don't want him anywhere near us.
Yeah, if you don't do this thing, the guards are in like a bunch of different positions, and you actually like, you know, do stuff to get it. Because one day when I was doing a practice session, I forgot. I just walked through and I was like, "Hey, that was easy."
Yeah.
And then when I uploaded the video, Marlon was like, "How did you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. I just clicked them in. Oh, I forgot." So, There you go. That's the history.
So, Peace Walker and Portable Ops has a history of the speed and the runners thereof being lazy and or forgetful, and it leading to good things. We're gonna have another instance of that coming up here shortly. Once we grab Snake, really, we'll see what we're talking about here.
Also, something we forgot to mention is this is being played on the PAL version.
Yes.
Want to explain why, Python? Give them the good rundown.
Yeah, sure. So the PAL version has a couple of benefits to it. It was released, I believe, the latest out of the 3 regions, and as such, it has some quality of life changes made. Like, for instance, if you dive off of a ledge, normally you have to actually press a button. Oops, I don't mean to actually do that. You usually have to press a button to grab onto the next ledge down. Turns out, in the PAL version, you don't need to do that. They take care of it for you. And we're also going to see another benefit later on in the run, like much later on, towards the end. That is also only a PAL thing.
Yeah, so PAL has a couple advantages. One of the downsides, quote unquote, is that it loads about, I think, 2 seconds slower than NTSC. But the in-game timer for this game does not count loads, so it doesn't matter. Convenient.
If I can hit this guy in the head, that'd be great. So the objective is to get that headshot real quick, like, and then distract those guys up top. If you do it either really quickly or really slowly, like I just did, you can get by scot-free. But if you're in like a middle ground of just not fast enough or just not slow enough, that's an alert. You're going to take it. Not important for our current run, but if you're running for a Tsuchinoko rank, yeah, you want to be mindful of that. And it's worth noting...
Time for Raxa.
Yeah, time for Rasha. So, here is where the laziness portion of our speedrun equation happens. You see, before, Marlon and Minnie had this very odd way of dealing with Rasha's legs that involved laying TNT down in a specific spot. But I remembered, or well, I decided I didn't even want to do that in the first place, but I also remembered something I used to do as a kid was I would split the difference on the legs with the rocket launcher, and it usually tended to work out. So that's the story of how we made Rasha a little bit better of a fight. And we should be able to get into phase 2 with that. Yep. And so, phase 2, we can take 4 shots and be done with it if I am aiming well enough. Not quite. Alright, so, aiming in the middle of the wingtips... Yeah. Aiming in the middle of those wings will do extra damage, and it will be enough to actually 2-shot both wings. And that is the secret to... Oh, no. No, no. Stop shuffling. Okay. Ah, crap. Okay. So, remember that whole thing I said about not grabbing healing items? Yeah. Anyway, attempt number 2 here. Same deal. Aim for the middle of the legs, come over here, grab the ammo. Try not to take a missile, or 5 this time. And don't worry if you can't see anything while things are exploding, because I can't either. There we go. Yeah, we're refreshing our stock of RPG rockets there. And come on. Just land for me, Rasha. Come on. We both know you don't have legs to stand on here. Alright, so, attempt number 2 here. Aiming at the center of the wings, in between the two missile ports. That looks better. But still not quite.
So close to the quick kill on phase 2. What a shame.
No, please. Oh, no. Whoa! Okay. We're alive. No fear. We're not alive anymore. Hell. Send help.
Oh no, that was ridiculous. No way.
Ugh. It's fine. Everything's fine. You know, we're doing okay. The run so far up to this point has been pretty okay. No fear. So I'm just gonna focus up and try and not die again. That should be all 4 legs. Can we not do this, Rasha? Okay, there we go. Really? Really, Rasha? Really? So I'm gonna be real with all of you. This ain't my favorite boss fight. There we go. Anyway.
Dang. It took way too much bullying from Rasha to get that fight over.
Anyway. We're just gonna move on. Johnny's dead. Rip Johnny. Hey, my spies gave me more RPG ammo. Yay. Oh, I'm sorry, my spy. Because, you know, the other one kind of died. Anyway, we have Python in our unit now because we defeated him non-lethally. And he's our 3rd recruit. So, yeah. This is actually going to be our last session of spy reports that we're going to need. After this, we don't have to worry about it anymore. And it's pretty great. There's the first one we need. Just go ahead and read that, and then set them up in the ravine, which is thankfully just one spot up from the silo entrance. Oh, come on, guys. Really? Well, I mean, okay, so if nothing else, at least Snake is healed now.
He's got all his health back.
Yeah, you know. He took a bit of a beating from Metal Gear, but, you know, it's fine. Just rest for, like, I don't know, what was that, 3 days total? There we go. So once we get that spy report, I'm actually going to go ahead and move these guys to my technical unit. Not you. Because that's the next place we're going to need our guys. And we need to go to the ravine. Now, the ravine is a bit scary. For those of you who haven't seen this run, you have not seen the depths of fear that this run can instill in you. So far, it's been pretty chill. You know, it's been a good time. We've been running around in Central America, the San Jeronimo Peninsula. But now comes the scary bits. So the first scary bit is this. You see that rock? I'm going to run straight at it and roll. And thankfully, I caught that ledge. And I can guarantee you that is exactly as scary as it looks. And that is made easier, not entirely made possible, but made easier by being on the PAL version, since you don't actually have to push a button to grab ledges.
Don't have to time it, you just roll over and Snake will grab it automatically. So there's actually no button press going on from Python's end for that grab right there.
But yeah, that's the first kind of scary bit, because you can fall and you can die. I actually want that RPG back. Give me that, please. So we're going to take the TNT off, because I do actually want to start collecting healing items, and there's going to be one in my path here that I want to grab. So just take off that RPG ammo, because I don't really need it in my inventory. As long as it's at base, as long as we have some sort of stock at base, I'll enter missions with it fully stocked up. So
Here's another mission where being forgetful leads to time save.
here.
Rather being lazy, actually, on my end.
Yep. So we rolled specifically only twice up that ramp. And that guy to our left was looking towards a wall. And we got to climb up this ladder for free. If you are very, very, very fast with the cardboard box going up that ramp, you can actually make that cycle without him turning. But it's finicky, and you have to actually grab the ladder on like the first available frame without any hesitation from Snake's animations. But we can climb up through the roof and get right to our destination here, which is this switchboard that we'll need to blow up. But we can't do it right now, because the door that is connected to this switchboard is on a backup generator. So, yeah, no. A direct explosion right now wouldn't do us much good. And
anyways, that was due to laziness, because when me and Marlon were fine-tuning the route for a single segment speedrun, and I got to the stage, I just kind of assumed, I was like, maybe that's faster, but I don't know. And I just never bothered testing it. I don't know why. Then one day I brought it up again. Marlon tested it and was like, oh yeah, that's faster. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there you go.
So we needed our guys in the technical unit to make a time bomb, so that we can blow that thing up and not be, at the power substation when we need to be at the silo entrance. And so, we got a time bomb now. We're just going to go ahead and set that up real quickly. I'm sure we're not going to get waylaid along the way or anything.
Nah, it'll be smooth sailing.
Yeah. So, same deal. Same ramp, same ladder. This time we are going to use the box, but we do have to be careful on landing here, because there's a guide right next to the ladder. If we're too close on landing, he will hear us and turn around and start an alert, and it's just a hassle more than anything. But just climb up this ladder. Now there's a guard up on the roof, but we don't particularly care all that much.
What's that?
Come on, get moving. There we go. Because, we have methods for dealing with this.
Yeah, she's not the brightest. She sees someone on the top of a platform out of her way, and she decides to face away from it and take a really long path to get there. If you were to wait and see, she actually goes all the way down the steps, out through the back, all the way around to the ladder, and then stands there and then goes back. For some reason, that's her path, because they don't climb ladders, so...
Yeah, no, they can't climb ladders. They were
no ladders.
Explicitly forbidden. Anyway, we got waylaid by this idiot.
This guy. Not again.
Not again, dude. Anyway, same strategy. 7 rockets straight to his kneecaps. I'm using a visual cue. When his left leg it's on our right side. When that lifts up a little bit, that's when I know to take a shot, because his invulnerability frames are up. That's gonna hit me. Oh, it didn't hit me. Nice. I wish I would stop pushing him at me, though. Oh, good. Good. Good enough. So yeah, that's what it's like when you blast null toward you. It's no good, because the blast radius on the RPG, I have failed to mention so far. It is so extensive that it'll hit Snake from yards away. And that's no good for anybody. Anyway, that's it for the RPG. We don't need it anymore. I'm gonna wait for healing before heading to this next mission. Also because nighttime is best time.
Also, you might be wondering, hey, if he were to go for Tsushinoko, what's the strat for beating Null? You can't get any kills. Well, Null doesn't actually die after those fights, so you can beat him lethally, and it doesn't matter. It's the same deal with Ocelot in MGS3 and Volgan 1 in MGS3 as well. They don't die after that fight, so beating them lethally does not matter.
Correct.
It won't count against you.
What in the world? How did you see me? It's the same deal with that officer before. Just kind of randomly spotting me through a bump roll.
You got that tricky roll first try, though.
Right? Imagine. Anyway, yeah, Metal Gear Solid is a platforming series, and I don't know who may have told you otherwise, but they were clearly lying. All right.
Whoever said this was a stealth game, it is a platformer, not a stealth game.
So, we're up to the third to last mission, and this is one of the trickiest ones. This is pretty much the game saying, all right, you know all those tricks you've been using? Let's see them all. All of them in one go.
Also, this stage is the other reason why we're playing PAL. So normally the door that Python's about to open by grabbing a guard, the only way to open it on NTSC is with a key. You need to grab a key card in order to open that door. On PAL, you can actually just grab a guard and drag him towards the door, and he will open it for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is PAL exclusive, but it is.
And you know, that key, that requires platforming.
Okay, the key requires platforming.
So I called Ghost there to put us closer to the frequency we actually want to call to open up this door. He has about a 75% chance to not answer his phone, which is good. We don't want him to. We don't actually want to talk to Ghost. We're just using him for his number.
The enemy is close by.
I'm sorry, I'm using your phone number to make it easier to talk to someone else.
The enemy is attacking
Yeah.
from an unknown position.
To make it easier to talk to a door, no less. My friend, you are less entertaining than a door. How does that make you feel?
Oh, and also the box ignores shield, unless you just go right through it to grab them.
Yeah.
The enemy is close by.
So we grab this chaff. We toss this chaff because up ahead there's cameras, and you know, cameras are the mortal enemies of stealth operatives worldwide. And then we're going to bloop.
What's that?
We're going to run around here, grab this idiot to open this door. Otherwise, we'd have to call a frequency. No one got time for that. And then it's a pretty straight shot from here to the end of the mission. Oops, I don't want
Ready
to
to
actually
grab
be in that box.
more extra medkits?
I am absolutely grabbing more extra medkits.
Good.
And I won't forget to equip them this time. So, about a month or two ago, our good friend Metal Glen Solid helped run Hootfest, and I ran this for Hootfest. And oh man, that was a choppy run. This one much better, despite shenanigans at Russia. So we need. You remember this thing we picked up all the way back at the harbor? We're finally actually going to use it.
In the most exciting boss fight of all time.
Oh, I mean, honestly, you paid for the whole seat, but you ain't going to need the whole seat. You're only going to need the edge.
Because that's where you'll be sitting.
Absolutely. So, my friends, it's down to this. 2 missions left, 2 bosses to fight. So, what do you guys say? Is it, in fact, time to get down to business?
It's time to get down in a crouching position with your machine gun held.
So yeah, this is the strategy for Cunningham. You literally sit here and just fire your weapon. And never stop firing until you need to tactically reload, because reloading normally would be way too long. And we just kind of sit here. Now we're kneeling because Snake, of course, is more accurate while he's kneeling, which is a big help. Ooh, I cut it close on that one. I almost reloaded. And that's Cunningham.
And he's down.
So that's Cunningham. I mean, there's not much to say about him. He's riding a Dalek and, you know, whatever. But now we're really getting down to business. This is the point where I need all of these 15 medical kits I picked up, which, by the way, is the maximum stack you can hold.
It's time for Gene, baby.
It's time for some gene therapy, in which we give gene therapy through killing Gene. You know what? I had I had something in mind, and then it just kind of fell apart. So screw it.
You gave it your all, man. Gave it your all.
What's it going to be?
What's it gonna be? Oh, so he's gonna start the fight by doing his psycho attack or whatever. That'll drain your psyche gauge or your stamina gauge. And if you run out of either health or stamina, you lose the character. They just kind of fall down on the spot. And so we want to interrupt him from doing that, and I'm gonna heal here because I don't trust it. But yeah, we want to interrupt that. So occasionally he'll try and Occasionally he'll try to charge you, and that's what we want to see, because then we can take pot shots with the moose and the gun.
God, Gene is aggressive.
But you can only attack him after he's done an attack, or as he's starting an attack, or if his back is turned to you. So using those rules, we gotta kind of pick our battles wisely during this fight. Oh, nice shot. That's the attack we want to see the least, honestly. Because it just takes forever, and he's immune during the whole thing. And once you get him down low enough, he'll try this mess again. Same deal. Get him out of it by shooting. And, ow. Alright, well, out of heals, but he's out of health.
Like, one hit left.
And that's time, sorry.
Oh yeah, time.
So yeah, a little overestimate, but that's because of shenanigans with Rasha. Rasha is probably my least favorite fight, just because there's so much idiocy involved. But yeah, that was Portable Ops. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Python. I'll be back later to help Glenn commentate for his Metal Gear Solid PC any % run. With me for the last couple of hours, I've had Minnie, my good friend.
Did a good job, Python. I love hanging out with you, man.
Thank you. It's, you know,
It's a grand old time.
The two of us together, we're really just unstoppable, honestly.
We really are. We can't be beaten.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for right now. Next up, I believe we've got Erifram with Metal Gear NES. We're running a little bit behind schedule, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let Roy do his thing. Thank you guys for watching, for donating, and please